Welcome to Flinda Tech Lab. This is a free course by the YouTube algorithm. Please comment, like, share and subscribe to the channel in helping to create more of these kind of tutorials. Just sit back, relax and enjoy the training. Let's dive into the tutorial. Now that we are able to go through the highlighters using the highlighting tool and also the other reformatting the text, we have to save our work in case of any power outage. So always as you start with your work, you need to save it. And as we talk about the save as process, we have different ways of saving our documents. We can press the F12 on the keyboard to take us to the save as dialog box, or we come to file on the menu bar, just select, we use what the save as, because this is a new document that we are dealing with, so we just use what, you go to the save, and when you go to the save as, you have what, save as what to your OneDrive or computer, or add a place. So what we do is, we want it to be on our computer, you just select your computer, and the folders that are here, I don't want it to be in any of the folders. If where you want to place it, you have the name of the folder, and then you can click on it. But since what I want is not here, I will need to go to browse, then it will take me to the save as dialog box. So you can see on the title bar we have what the save as. Then which location is this file going to? We have user, copy, and we have what, document. So this is the root which this file is going through. So if I don't want it to be in this root, I can change the location. We have different folders that are here in this panel. We created a folder named student, so I want it to be in the student folder. I can click here, and the folder content, you see it will also display what is inside that folder. So I want to maintain the name as what, formatting text. Then if you don't want this name, you can change the name. It can be Word document, and give the name to any name that you prefer to use. Then when you come down, you come to the down, we have what, save as type. What type of format do you want to save the work? We have the Word document type is there already, that's the default one that is there. If you don't want it to be this way, you can click on the drop down arrow. We have the micro enable, but what I want to talk about here is the Word document 97, that is Word 97 2003 document, and the PDF. So whatever that you want to do, there are more things that you can do with the save as dialog box here. You can save the file into any of the file extensions of file type that you want. So the default one is the Word document, the Word 97 2003. Anytime that you save your document to this format, you'll be able to open it in any of the latest versions of Microsoft Office. If it is a 2019 version, you can open it. But when you save the work in the 2019 version and you have a lower version like 2016 or 2013, and you want to open it into it, you can't open it because the version that you used to save it is higher than that version. So what's happening is sometimes when you save it in 97 2003, you can open it in any of the versions. That is from the lowest version. You can open it in the lowest version. So any time that you save a file in the lower version, you can open it in the higher version. But when you save the file in the higher version, you can't open it in the lower version. So we take note of that. When you open it, you can see that sometimes it will change to some boxes because the formats and the changes that it's having there, the lower version is not having that. Then sometimes when you finish typing your document and you want it to be in a PDF format, that is where you come and select your PDF. So when you save it, it will be in a PDF format for you. But I want this work should be as Word format. I just want to save it as Word format, or I can give you a name to it as formatting text. Let me take this one off. So I want it to be in the same save as type as what, Word documents. Just click on your save. So now on your title bar, you can see that it changed to what, format text. That is the name of this my document, and it is located under that studies. If I go to the folder studies, I'll be able to get it from there. So this is how we save changes, or we save a file, a new file. Now let's look at this. I have these letters. Some of them, I want the first letter should be capital letters. So I only change it back. This one also should be capital letters. So I only change it back. Now after me applying these changes to it, when I want to save it again, I don't need to use the save as again. What I have to use is to use the save button. This is the symbol for the save button, so you take note of that. And the shortcut key is Ctrl plus X. So that means you hold the Ctrl and press what? The S on the keyboard. If I don't want to use this one, I can come to this place and use the same save that is here, is the same thing. So you have to know the difference between the save and the save as. So let me just click on it to add the changes to what I just did. So now anytime I open this document, it's going to be in this format. It's not going to be in the previous where this one is a small letter and this one is also small letter. I apply the changes to it by clicking on what? The save. So this is how we save a document in Word. So I want to set an example of the save as using the PDF format. So this is our work. You can see now our work is showing here. So if I want to be in the form of PDF, I want to go here, click on save as. Then now you can see the work is in what? A PDF format for us. So this is how we convert Word document to PDF in Microsoft Word. Especially from 2010 going, that is the version, those versions, they have the inbuilt PDF format. But the lower versions doesn't have that format, so you take note of that. Now let's move on to the next thing. I want us to learn how to create a new sheet. In Microsoft Word, as you finish preparing your documents, a file, this become a file. When as soon as you save it, become a file. And I don't want to continue the rest of the document I want to create within this file, because I want to give, let's assume this one is an application letter, the next one is a CV, which I want it to be a different file with its name. So what I have to do is to create a new sheet. That is a new sheet for my work. So we have different ways of doing that. You can go to the start, then you go to new. After selecting new, I talk about this template in a blank document. So since I want a blank document, I only click on the blank document. So it's going to give me another new page where I'm going to do my new typing or create a new document. So this one, when you're about to save this one, you save it as you use the save as also to do it. So now we have two documents that is being opened. The first one is here, the format, and the new one that I just want to deal with. So let me just close this one and use another one. There is one of the method. You can go to file, you use new, then click on the blank, it will open it for you. So take note of this step. Then another step also of doing it, if you don't want to go through this long process, as your application is being opened up, hold the control on the keyboard, then press N, it will give you a new sheet. That is the shortcut key. So once you are learning, you should take good once you are learning, you make sure that you take good use of the shortcut keys as well. So that anytime that you want to do something simple, you just quickly go to the shortcut tools as well. So when you come here, you put the mouse pointer, you see that this is our new, but this one is a long process. Click on this, come into blank document before you get it. But when you press Control on the keyboard and just press the N, it will just open a new page for you direct. So this is how we go about this. The next thing is how to copy, cut, and paste. We did this in Windows. It's the same thing that we are coming to do here, but the difference is that here we are going to copy a text or a word. So take note of that. Now what I want to do here to copy, we all know that we have to select the object or whatever text that you want to copy. You have to select it. So I can highlight all this one, click from the back of it, you click and drag to highlight the whole thing. As you are done, you copy. We have what? Paste here, we have cut here, we have copy. We have another ways, we have different ways of doing that our copy and paste as well. So let me start with the one on the ribbon. This copy. We all know that the copy is to duplicate the original work, just to duplicate what we have. That is the work of the copy. But when you are to go with the cut is to take the original from where it is to a new destination. And the paste command is used to place or to execute the command to put whatever copy or cut instruction that we took. Now, after me selecting, I need to click on the copy. After copy, where do I want it to be? I want it to be at the down here. So you click where you want it to be. Then you go to the paste command, you paste it. So you can see I have the same thing here. I can also use another way. That is when you are using this method, you use this and this, you paste it. I can also use the right mouse button. I'll only highlight what I need. This is what I want. Then you right click on the selected one. After selecting, you see that we have what cut, copy, and we have the paste command here. So what I need is what copy. You click on it now, use the left after highlighting, and you right click on it to take any of those commands over there. You need to use the left button by just clicking on that one as well. Now, why do I want to paste this? I want to paste this one below the one here. I can right click on it also, go to the two, and just for the first, this one is what paste. It says what keep source format, so it should be with the way the source format is. You just click on it, then it will add it to it. So you can see that this one starts from this side. This is how we copy and paste our informations. Another way also, I can highlight it using the keyboard. Hold the Control key and press C on the keyboard. That is also for copy. Where do I want to paste it? I'll just click where I want it to be. Always make sure you click where you want it to be. Then the cursor will be blinking, meaning it's ready to accept whatever you want to do now. Now hold the same Control key again. Then you press the V. The V is for paste. So this is the keyboard shortcut. Control C for copy, Control V for pasting. So anytime you want to paste anything, Control V is used for pasting them. So take note of that. So this is how we copy and paste a word or a text. So anytime that you want to copy something, you highlight the thing that you want to copy. Then where you want to paste it, make sure that you select the place by clicking. You just click to tell the computer I want to paste it at this particular portion. So what we have here, I can decide to highlight the whole thing again. Right click on it, take my copy, come to the down of it, then paste it. So you can see I repeat the same thing again. So the reason why we normally go through this copy and paste is that sometimes you've typed about 30 pages and 5 of the pages you need to repeat it somewhere else. You don't need to go and type the whole thing again. What you have to do is you only copy that portion that you need. You only copy the portion that you need. Then either you right click or you go to your copy here, any of the 3 steps that you want, or Control C on the keyboard. And where do I want to put it? I want to put it at the down here. Just gonna click. When the cursor starts blinking, meaning it's ready to accept what you want. So as you get to this place, Control V, or you just use the paste command here to put it down. This is how we copy and paste our documents. So in Word, this process that we are using, any other applications that you want to do copy and paste, we go through the same procedure. So take note, it's not only in Microsoft Word, in Excel, Access, there are other advanced programs also that you'll be going through the same procedure. So make sure that you practice it so that you'll be used to how to copy using the right mouse button, and also using the keyboard and using your ribbon, that is the home ribbon, where we have the copy, cut and paste. Now, as we've seen how to do the cut and how to do cut, copy and paste, or we've learned about the copy and paste, I want us to go through the steps for the cut also. Maybe you all know that the cut is to take the original document or original file from where it was to another place or a different destination. So I want to take this heading out of this place. So meaning I want have to what select it. That one also we have three ways of doing that. You can use the home ribbon tools. You just click on the cut that is here. I say that it's off. Where do I want to put it? I want it to be at the down. So I'll just click here and then go to the paste and put it down. So this one, this command, if I want to paste it again, you see that I just paste it at somewhere here. But when I cut, if you cut it, I took it from where it was to a new place. This is the difference between the copy and the paste. And the copy command, you can copy the document and paste it several times. But the cut, you can also cut it once. Then when you paste it, that command becomes, that is the end of it. So this is how we go about the copy, cut and paste. If I want to copy this document and send it to different file, I can highlight this portion. Just highlight the document again. Then you either use your Ctrl C or right click, copy. What do I want to paste? I want to paste it below this one. Right click again, paste. You dump it there. So now you can see the more that you are getting more pages as you continue to type your document. When the page one page gets full, it drops to another page. So you can see the number of pages we have, 3 or 4, 6, meaning you have 6 pages. So in Microsoft Word also, it will be counting the number of words that you have for you on your status bar. Now, if I want to send this document, we can copy Microsoft Word document or a text from one file to another file, which it works. So if I want to copy these things that I can right click on it, or let me use this to copy. Where do I want it to paste it? I want it to be in different applications. So we've opened our one of the blank documents now. So just come to your Word icon that is here. Then select the new sheet that you create. If you create a new sheet, you are going to get it like this. You see there's nothing over here. So when the cursor is blinking, I want to paste it here. So you just go to your paste command that is here. You paste it and you see that what we had at the other side, we were able to duplicate it and we have a copy of it here. So this is how we copy a document. So we take note, sometimes the cutting also, you may type about maybe a huge number of documents or text or sentences, and you realize that where you paste or where you type those documents are not supposed to be at that place. So what you do is you don't erase the whole thing and go and type it at the other side. For you to retype those things, just come and cut it from where those documents are and just go and paste it at the other side, which it works. It's not something that you have to go and retype it. That is the reason why we have the copy, cut and paste. The copy, cut and paste, they are there to help us, so that words that we need a duplicate of them somewhere, we can use the copy command. But words that maybe we mistakenly type them as the wrong places, we can cut them from where they are to the new destination that we want it to be. So if these things that are here, I don't want this one to be here and I mistakenly type it here, I can right click on it, use the cut. Where do I want it to be? I want it to be maybe at the middle here. So I want to click where I want it to be, then I paste it over here. So you can see how it works here. So you have to make good use of the copy, cut and paste. So take note of that. We also have these buttons that are here, which is the undo and redo. Redo and undo are tools that also help us when we are dealing with our documents. The undo means it should take you back to your previous. So you see that initially I have this document and the text, those words are at the down here, but when I cut it, it moved to the down at the top. I want the word to send this document back. Those words should come back to where they are. So when I click on undo, I need to, when I click it, move one step. You can see they are no more here. I have to click again until you continue clicking until your work goes back to the way it was. So I click again. I have to click again. Now you can see that it's come back again. So that is the work of, and redo means it should take you forward again to where those things are. That is the work of it. That is the work of the redo. So undo will take you can see now, or even the work that I pasted is able to help me to take the whole thing backwards to make my workspace look like the way it was first. So if maybe you are typing something and mistakenly your hand went and pressed something to delete it. That's how I'm typing. Not, unfortunately, it's like the mouse pointer highlighted something and mistakenly I deleted it down and that you are going to type them again. Just go to the undo, means undo what action I took. Meaning it should take me back to the previous stage, how my work was looking like. So this is the work of what? The undo. So you take note of that. Now, the next thing is how to insert an indentation. Now we have two documents that we've created. One is here, one is here. So I'm going to do the first one, that I'll be using the second one as well. So indentation. Let me maximize this work so that you can see it clear. When we are talking about indentation, that is inserting a paragraph. So we have different type of paragraph that we normally apply when we are writing letters or we are writing articles and so on. So you have to know the type of indentation or paragraph that you insert. So we are going to learn how to insert a paragraph. So to insert a paragraph, you have your document that are already in typed. So what you do, the paragraph is to affect the body. So when you highlight the body where you want the paragraph to affect. So let me just apply the paragraph for just a few aspects. Then the other one I'll also use it for different things. So to insert a paragraph, we highlight the document that we want the paragraph to affect. So we take note of that. And we have different ways of inserting. When you come under the paragraph, we have what? This is the indentation. The indentation is the same as the paragraph. We have the shortcut tools that are here to do to help us to insert that paragraph. But I want us to go through the paragraph property itself so that we insert it from there manually. Then when you go through it, after going through the process, we can apply the tools to see how they also work. So just come to in front of where the paragraph is. You see that we have a small arrow over there. Just click on that arrow, which is the property of it. So we have what? The indent and spacing. Then we have line and what? Page breaks. Then under the indent and spacing, there are different tabs, so take note of that. So I'm working with the indent and the spacing. And we have general. We have general and the outline level. So the general means we have the alignment, meaning your document that you type is from the left side. So you take note. Let me explain this portion so that you see how it goes. Then we have the indentation that we want to deal with. The first one, which is the general, is where we have our center, left, right, and the justify, like what we did in under the front. So we take note of that. It's the same thing that is here. Then the body, that is a body text. That's what we are applying it to. We have the indentation. This is what we want to talk about now. And the spacing, this 1, 2, and 3. Now, whatever we are going to do here is going to affect the document on our workspace. So what you have to do is to see how the layout of the whole thing is going to be by looking at your preview. This is the preview. So the deep lines that are here are representing what we highlighted. So we take note of that. I'm going to apply some of the changes so that once we do changes here, we'll be looking at the preview to see how the text over there is also moving, and the way we are going to see it here, that's how our work also is going to look on the workspace for us. Now the indentation, as I said, the indentation, we have the paragraphs. So we have the left indent. If you increase it, you keep increasing, you can see that now the text here has moved inside. How many? That is 0.5 inches. 0.5 inches. So when I apply this whole text, guys, it will move inside 0.5 inches. That is the work of it. Now, when I reduce it back, I'm going to get the same to be at where it was again. Now, for the right indent also, it move it to the right side, so we take note of that. Let me just highlight the whole thing again, let me cancel. So right indent, you can see now is the right side that is moving. If you can see the changes what's going on. So we can see that the right side is moving inside. This is how we move the indent. So there will be more space here. Look at the place where those texts are. The ones here you can see is light. This is the edge where it's supposed to start back, because we push this side, that is 1.4 inches. This side I've gone inside 1.4. So when you go to the left side will also push this side rather inside. So before applying this command, you make sure that at least you go by one, or if you are dealing with the two, you reduce their size so that your document will get a space inside. So I can decide to reduce this one to 0. We have the two buttons. This one is to reduce and this one is to increase. So I want it to be at the normal places. Let me just set this one to 0.5 and click on OK and see. You can see that our document has moved an inch. That's 0.5. So if I don't want it to be at that place, I can change it back to 0. When I click OK, I see that it has gone back again. So that is how the indentation indents work. Now I want us to apply the special, that is the type of paragraphs. So we have the first line and the hanging. The first line is to move all the first line of your sentences inside it, like the way we normally insert our paragraphs. So let me just select this one. What should be the intervals from the margin? So let me just take 0.5. As I click, it also provides a space for me, so you can see your preview from this distance to here. That is the 0.5. So meaning all lines that start from the beginning, that's from the left side to the right side, those ones are going to be moved 0.5 inches. So let's see how it works. So you can see as you continue typing, you didn't drop your cursor by yourself, it drop by itself and you continue typing. So this one become one paragraph. So you can see it has what? Insert those 0.5 inches spaces in between for you. So this is what you call the first line. The first line. So you can see that it applies to all of them. Now if you want to change it, you can increase. If there's whatever that is here is not enough for you, you can increase it to 10. How you think it will be okay for you. Or that is the 10, that is the 1 inches. But the 1 inch, I think it will be too much. So 0.5 is okay. So this is for the first line. Now if you want to apply the hanging is the opposite way. Those first lines rather will go outside, and the rest of the text that is below them will be hanging. So let's just take this one. You can see how the preview also is the first line is out, the rest of the text under it is below, and those ones are rather entered. So the distance that we pick also over here is 0.5 by 0.5. That's from the margin to where that space is should be what, 0.5 inches. So let me just take that one so you can see the effect of it. So these are the type of paragraph that we normally deal with, either the first line or the hanging type of paragraph. Now let's go back to the same place again. If I want to go back to the first line, I can. If I don't need any of the paragraph, just select your none. You can see our preview has gone back to the way it was. When I click OK, everything is back to the way it's supposed to be. Now we have the same thing here. We have this is the right indent, that's to decrease. That's it, that is to decrease, and this one is for the increase. When we were doing, you can see it was moving it. So that was what we did in the property, that is the paragraph settings. When we went there, we were using the left indent and the right indent. So there are some 2-3 things let me talk about before coming talk about the one here. That is the spacing. We have spacing also here, before and after. Sometimes you see that when you type, there's big spaces in between your sentences. So we have the before. The before is the one that is after, before the text, and the after. So after each line, this is the intervals that is between, which is too big for you. If you think this one is too big, you can reduce it to 0. Then click on OK. You can see that now the gap between them is what? Close. But when you increase, you can see it has provided more gap between the one selected and the one that is not selected. So when I click OK, you can see that it has reduced the gaps after. You pressing enter starting a new line, the interval that is between the first line and the second line that you are starting. So it only affects the ones that you press enter and starting those new line. But those ones that you type and the cursor came down by itself, those ones is not going to affect them. We'll be going to those ones so to see how their settings work. Now I can put this one back at 0. And we have what we call, we have the before. Let me also talk about the before. You can see that one is on top. You can see after this, before this one, see the gap that it gives to you. So this is the gap that we are talking about. Not you typing when you get to the end and dropping, the cursor dropping by itself. But when you get to this place and type, you press your full stop and press enter to start a new line. That is where it's going to give you, after this, the gap that is going to give. That's what we call the before. And the one that is talking about after, that's where it can close or it will increase it for you. So we can reduce this one back to 0. And we click on OK. You can see now it has closed the whole thing back for us. So by default, at least it should be, the after should be somewhere like 6. So you can 6 or 8 is okay for you. Let's go to the line spacing. Now each line, what should be the spacing in between them? That's what we call the line spacing. Each line, each sentence, you need to provide a space. If you think that the space here is too small for you, you can increase or decrease it. So we have, by default, we have the single spacing. That is the normal spacing when you are typing. That is spacing that is in between it. So if you think this one is too close for you, you can go back and select the 1.5, meaning the single spacing to add 0.5 of it to it. You can see the preview that the gap between the highlighted ones, it has increased. So this is how we increase the spaces between the sentences. If by default you were typing, if you realize that these spaces are too much for you, you can go back to the same place and reduce it by selecting the single line spacing. You can see it's close here. Now let's go to the same place again. We have what we call the double line spacing. If you want to open it well so that your document will occupy all the space for you, you just go to that side and select your double line spacing. Then we also have at least. This one is going to close the gap the normal way for you. You can see it has closed everything to the normal way. And exactly is also something that will close it tight, to close the gap that is between those sentences than the way the at least is. Take note of that. You can see that this one it has closed the gap between them. So you take note of their differences. You can practice this on your machine to see how it works. So if you like, you can pause the video, then go through them one after the other and see how each of them have effect on your document. So let's go to the multiple. The multiple, that one will give you most big spaces. You can see the gap that you have within your sentences, which is your line. So you can go back to the single line. Single line meaning you don't have at. But when you are taking this one, the multiple, that means 3 times. It's giving 3 times of the gap of what you need. So you take note of all this. And when you see this, and don't get panicked that how come my space between the text is too big for me. So just go through the right process or right places and therefore do the necessary changes. Now, when we come to the top here, we say these things affect this place always for the paragraph work. When you come to this place, you have a line and paragraph spacing. Well, you really need to click on the drop down arrow. You see the line spacing is at 1.0 is the normal one, and 1.15 is also the one that is having a little bit guide than the single line spacing. Then 1.5 is one of half of the 1.0 spacing. So each of them also, you see the one I selected, that is the 2, so that's the guide I gave to me. When you put the mouse pointer on them, you see that it will be giving you the spaces between those sentences. So the one writing line is okay for you. You can just click on it, then you are good to go with that one. So I want it to be 1.5. So I prefer using this one for what I want to do now. So this is how we apply spaces between our text. Sometimes when it comes to page layout, you see we have parentheses, that is the after. Paragraph can be located under the page layout. When you go under the home also, we have it over there. Some of the tools are on different you can get it from here, you can also get them from other menus, so take note of that. Now the next thing is how to insert bullets and numbering. How to insert bullets and numbering. That is one key thing that I want us to look at. So bullet and numbering also, you need to what? Highlight your document. So let me highlight this. Bullet and numbering are one of the tools that we use for giving us notice. Maybe when you have an important places and you want to put points on those places, that's where we put points 1 or point 2, point 3 in that order. Those ones are to help us to identify where we have some key informations. That is where we use either the numbering or bullets. And when we are talking about bullets are symbols that are used to give us information or to prompt us of an important area of something. So where we have our information, we can put the bullets also over there. So quickly, let me try and select some bullets. So that is the art of making a sentence or paragraph stand out using sequences. So bullet has to do with what symbols, as I said, and numbering has to do with what numbering, that is alphabet and numbers. So we have the top here. These are some of the bullets, but the default one is that I don't need this one. Let's go and check all the bullets that is there. So you click on the drop down arrow. We have this one here, so you can see where I start new lines. It is what numbering those spaces. So it is giving me bullets over there. So this another point 1, this another point, another point, another point. So I can click on this. I can see it as what indicates those points. So this point also starts from here. This point also starts from here. So it will make your point that you've illustrated. Those points are going to be in a clear place or a clear point for you to see. When you're looking for a particular point, you know that this point starts from here, this one starts from here. That is the work of the bullet, to help you to identify where point is starting from, or where key information is starting from. We have different type of them, so any type of the shape of bullet that you prefer to use, you just go there, click on the drop down arrow, select your bullet. We have different type of bullets, so just go there If you don't need any one of them, just select the none, then it's to go back for you. So this is how we insert bullets. So let me just take none. I want to select few so that the bullet will be here. I want only this place should be like for bullets. I can take this one, I need this bullet here. Then when I select this one can be this type of bullet in that order. Now let's come to the number. I can highlight the one that is here also. So somewhere here. This one is for the numbers. So click on the drop down arrow. We have different types of numbers. The one with the dot or the one with the brackets close. So the one that we want to deal with, you just select it. We also have the Roman numbers, which is the one that is in capital letters. We have the alphabet also, the one in the uppercase and the lowercase. So this is also lowercase, and this is also the Roman numbers in the lowercase. So the one that you want to go with, you can just select it. So let me just say I want the Roman numbers here. So you can see this one has started before Roman numbers. Then if I want to change this side also to be with something like the alphabet number, I can just go there and pick that portion. So this is how we insert the bullet and number. Sometimes when you are typing something, you don't need to worry yourself typing the numbers for each of them. You can finish your typing, then you apply your number to it. Or if you like, you can also apply a symbol, which is the bullet, to it. So take note of that. Make good use of the bullet and number. You will see in some documents when a person types to a particular level where there are some key informations, the person tries to put numbers there or bullet there so that the reader will identify that this particular portion there are some key informations that you need to go through. The key information, the first one starts from here, second one starts from here, second one starts from here by the numbering or the bullet aspect. So take note of these informations. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is our the sequences also. You can see we can also use other headings for it. It can be in this order. You can see how it's arranged if you want your bullet or your information to go. But the main standard one that you need to know is this bullet here and the numbering here that I spoke about. So you can leave the multi-level list on. Then also using the line spacing, using your justifier, and also using the indent. That is some of the things that you have to take note of. Now our next topic is drop cap. Drop cap. When we are talking about drop cap, is also another way of getting or prompting the viewer to be able to see where you have a key information that the viewer needs to see. So drop cap is one of the tools that we also use to prompt the readers that there's some information here that you need to look like. So mostly in our graphics and those things, you see that there are a lot of drop caps in our graphics that are at the graphic stance. So I want us to set an example of how these drop caps are. So always to insert a drop cap, you need to highlight the portion where you want that drop cap should be. So let me use this one. So just highlight the text that you want to use for the drop cap. You can use any one of them, but let me use the I here. Okay, now this will be okay for me. Let me just use that letter. So you go to insert. You see we have drop cap. We have none, dropped, and in margin. You can see that these things normally you see them in your magazines, you see them in graphics, This is what we call drop cap. So we have them in different way. So I don't want to go with the wizard. I want us to do it ourselves. So we just go to drop cap options. Now we have the first one, which is none. The second one is drop, and the other one is what? In margin. Meaning this one, the letter that we highlight is going to be in the margin, and the rest is going to be in line. But the first one, which is a drop, that one, it will enter into the workspace, then the rest of the rating is going to be below it. So the number of drops that you want. So this is what we call the drop. We have 1, 2, 3 that we are dropping, and the rest is going to be at the down. So you come to, let me select this one. So what type of font? You can change the font that you want to give to it. It can be area, and the type of font for the drop you want to use. And how many lines do you want to drop? 3. That's the reason why we have 1, 2, 3. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and we have only 3 lines here. So when you drop 3, it's going to be, I'm not going to see the effectiveness of it well. So let me change it to a 2, so that we can see it well. Then the distance, meaning from this letter to where the rest of the text are going to start, what should it be the distance? We want to be 0, but if you put it at 0.1 or 2 or 3, meaning there was going to be a gap between that letter and the remaining sentences that is in front of it. So always you can put it at 0, depending on what you are doing. So after selecting, you click on what? OK. So you can see that the number of drops, I drop 1, 2 lines, then the rest of them appear at the down of it. Let me use the one that is here so that we see the effect, the eye that is here. So I'll go back to the drop again. Drop cap options. Dropped. I want to select area block. Then I want it to be 3. So you can see how it works. So you drop 1, 2, 3, and the rest, the fourth one, appear below it. So this is what we call drop cap. So you take note of their differences. Anytime that you are being asked to drop a cap within maybe a passage or a sentence, you make sure that you highlight the letter that you want to drop. If it's supposed to be 2 letters, you highlight the 2. If it is 1, just highlight your text, the particular one that you want to drop. Then you go to your drop cap option. Then you select either in or out. So let me just take the in margin for this, and let's see how that one does work. You can see what happened. So the one I select is like that one has gone outside and the rest is inside. So that's what we call the drop cap. So take note of it. Let me highlight this and see how the T also works. I want it to be in, so meaning the T is outside, then the rest of the document is in front of it. But when you take the drop, meaning that one is going to be inside as well. You can see how it works. But this one, because we are having 3 lines, always it applies to when you type to a place where you press enter to drop. It's only affecting only those portions. That is the reason why I use the I here. So if the I, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So when you select 3, meaning 1 will be below the I itself. But if it is 3 lines and you are dropping 3, meaning 3 is supposed to be in front. That is what it means by the drop. So take note of that. So this is how we drop a cap. So this is what we call drop cap. Anytime that you see anything of this source, it's what we call drop cap. So anybody that is passing by that saw that it will draw the attention of the reader or a viewer to see what information is there. So it's normally in our magazines and graphics as well. So we take note of this tools. So drop caps. Now after we are done with the drop cap, we'll be moving on. We are going on to how to set our page numbers. Page numbers is one of the things that whenever we are typing articles or a long document, we need to number our pages so that we know how they are in sequences. So always you need to apply page numbers to your document, especially when you're typing books and magazines and those stuff. So you make sure that you give them a numbers. So that one can also be located under the insert. Insert is where we can get all those things. We have the header and the footer, but we are going to talk about the page number. We are able to go through the drop cap. So just the page number, you just go to the drop down arrow of it. We have a top of page. If you select top of page, meaning you want, where do you want the document or the number to appear? It should be at the top of page or bottom of page. If you say bottom of page, then it's going to take you to the bottom of page. So this line here is telling you the end of what? The paper. That is the bottom of the paper. And you put it at the top, and so you can see now the shade has turned this way. So mean this is the top of it. And the one here is representing where that number is going to appear. So mean this for the left, this one is for the center, and this one is for the right. So if you want it to be at the right side, come and take this one. If you want it to be at the middle, you take this one. If you want to be at the left, you take this one. Then if you want it to be this format of page numbering, the one that you see 1/page, then there's a design attached to it, then you have to come and pick this particular one. There are more page numbering from online that we can import, but let's just deal with the ones that are here. So let me just take the middle one. Now you will see that it has inserted those numbers for you. So to confirm, you just come to your workspace, this place, and double click to confirm what is there. You can see your one is here. When you scroll downwards, see this page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, and I think we have up to page 6. This is the 6. So over here, the status bar is also telling you we have about 6 pages. So take note of that. Now to change the position where it's, as for the page number, you don't need to highlight the document, because what we are doing is to affect the page step. So you just go back to the insert again. I want us to position it at the right side of it. So you can see now it has moved to this side. Just confirm by double clicking on your workspace. Then that line will be up for you. See the page 2, page 3, page 4, in that order. So this is how we insert the page numbering. If you don't want this, you can double click here to go back to where your page numberings are. We have a lot of things that you can do here. When you get to this place, the distance, you can see the distance. Maybe the margin that you have here, if where the page number is, you want to reduce it, you can reduce it from here. Then also, if you want to apply some kind of date and time, you can insert those ones. So here, taking that short or long date, that's how we go by. Yes, let me just take this one with the time as well. So this one can be here when I apply to give me the information of the date and time as well. So it's going to be on all the pages that are set. So the date and time of your machine, that's what is going to pop up here. So if your date is wrong here and time is wrong here, I want to also get the wrong date and time on your header or the page numbering page, where the page number is. We can also insert this page number at the bottom, which is for the footer. So we go to the page number, then this bottom of page. So if I want it to be at the middle, I'll just come to the down, and now you can see this one's having 1, 2, in that order. Our first page number command is still function. So if you want to take this one, we can erase them. Can erase what is there for us. And double click, and now that command should go off. And the old one, the one that we are doing here, is working on. So the top ones are off now. So this one is 1, this one is 2, in that order. So this is how we insert our page numbers. So anytime that you are being asked to insert a page number, you make sure you go to the insert. We have our page numbers. You either where you are being asked to position it, top or bottom, you make sure you take note of that. You also have margin, page numbers and margin, and all those things that you can apply but I want us to really take note of these ones and study them well, so that if you are able to understand this, you can proceed by studying on your own to apply these ones when you are free yourself. Now the next one that I want us to also comment on is the page itself. This page, sometimes we can change the color for this page, and then also we can also insert a watermark. And watermark is one of the things that sometimes we use to protect our documents. Whenever you have some official document and you don't want anybody to copy, or you don't want anybody to sell it out, you can put an information at the background. That is what we call the watermark. So we will be doing a brief work on that. So that one is under the design. When you come under the design, see we have what watermark. Let's click on the drop down arrow. We have confidential. And this one is in diagonal way. This one is in the horizontal. This is also diagonal. So this one do not copy. This one is also do not copy. So you can go by there. When you click on it, you can see that the confidential is showing in between. That is at the background of your document. So this one is going to appear in all the document, all the pages that you have. That's how it works. So if you want it to be this way, you can change it. How you want it to look like, you can change the way you want it to be written across your page. Now, if these ones are default ones that are there, if you want to insert it yourself, you have to come to the custom watermark. We can use pictures here, we can use text here. So when you want to deal with pictures, we come to this place, then we select our image. Since I don't have any image here, so if there is an image, it will take you straight to go to where these images are. Okay, since I have some images, so let me just take this one and set. So I want it to be auto size. You should just pick the auto size for me. So you can see that now the design is at the background of what. So this image can be the logo of your company or an organization. So you have to take note of how to go by this. I want to take that one off. So anytime I want to take any watermark off, I'll just come to remove watermark. Then you can see that now it is what? Off. It's no more there. Now I want us to insert the text aspect. So you come to this side, text watermark. What do you want to do? You can put your information over there. It can be tech.com. You can put this information and what type of language you want it to be in. United States, English, United States. Then the font, you can decide to change this font type that is there. We have different type of fonts, Times New Roman, we have area, we have different type of fonts. So the one that you want, you can just select it. We have the area block, area narrow, they are all there. What you prefer to, you just take it. Then the size, we want it to be default size auto. So this is how it goes about. Then what color do we want the text to be? How do we want the text color to be at the background? We want it to be in this form of like ash color. And we also want this should be diagonal, should across, you just cross, should be from the corner to the other corner. But when you select horizontal, it will just cross your page for you. So you make sure you select diagonal so that it will be from the one corner to the other corner. You can try your hands on this to see how they all work. So when you look at this portion, you can see that the frame text, you can see it at the background of your document. So always take note of that. You can change it how you want it to be. You can just change it to a different way. Then we just go to the custom. I want it to be horizontal. I'll just okay. I see that now it's across it this way. So this one is going to be on all your pages. I mean, these pages that you created here is not going to appear on the other document that you created, because this one is a different document on its own. I mean, the document that we are dealing with, which is this file that we are dealing with, that's what is going to appear on all its pages. The number of pages that you'll be creating, it will just be popping up them in that order. So we take note. This is how we insert a watermark. If you want to take it off, just come to what remove watermark, then it's off from your out of the background of your file that you create. Now the next thing is dealing with our page. Sometimes if you have some kind of eye problem and realize that you can't see what is here, you are not okay with the white paper that is here, you can change the paper. So when you come to this place, we have different color. What color do you want to give to it? You can change this by confirming. So now your paper is going to be in this form. But when you print, it's not going to be in this color for you. Here you decide to just change the color of your page so that when you are typing, you want it this way, so that maybe if you have some effect on your eye and you don't want to be using the white, you can change it to any color that you want. But when you print, it will not be on the paper as you are seeing that color. The only thing that you are going to see, because of when you put a white paper into your printer, it will only print the text on the white paper for you. This one is only changing the color of the page. That's what you are seeing here. So take note of that. This is how we change our page color. So anytime you want to change the page color, just go by that way and you are good to go. I think if you think I'm going too fast also, you can pause your video, then you try it and see how it works before you continue with the video. Now our next topic is margin settings and page setup. When we are talking about margin settings and page setup, that is one of the things that also affects our pages. When you want to set a margin, this portion is the margin. Maybe the space that is here is too big for us. We can reduce the margin spacing, and also the type of papers that we select. So let's quickly go back to our page layout. This is our page layout. When you come here, we have our margin. This is the default one. We have different margins that are here. The normal, we have the narrow, moderate, wide. These are all default margins. So when you click on any one of them, you see that the size of your document changes. So now the space that is from here to where the text is, you can see it has what reduced. That is for the narrow. That's for the narrow aspect. The normal also will take you back to the normal size, so you can see how it is. So take note of how to go about the margin. Sometimes what you are typing, you want all the document to go into one page, but like about 3 lines has dropped to the next page. You can use the margin settings to reduce the space of the margin so that the rest of the work can go to one page. That is when you need it so. And also, if it's supposed to be more than the number of one page, you can either reduce the size, but at least the default size can be 1 inches for each edge of a margin. So to do the margin settings yourself, we can go to the margin, and you see we have a custom margin, meaning you want to set it yourself. There are 2 ways of doing that. You can come to this place, or you can click on this arrow here, because we are dealing with the same page setup. So within the page setup, we have the margin, the paper, and the layout. So we are talking about one of them, which is the margin. Now you can see the narrow that we took, that is the top is what 0.5. We have our preview here. These lines are representing our documents, and the space that is around is presenting the margin. So always you need to get a space around it so that when you are printing, your printer will be able to start the work on the paper. If the work is out of the margin, the printer will not be able to print those ones. It will only be able to print the one that is on the paper or is within the margin. So take note of that. So always when you are setting, you can do your own custom margin settings. When I'm increasing the number, you can see the space that I provided, meaning this space is big. So meaning the printer will only start printing from here. If I decide to reduce it to 1, I can do that. When I come to the bottom, you can see the space around it. Then the left and right, you can see that now is out of it. So always you need to get a space. See, this one is out. As it's moving into the margin. So at least there should be a space around it so that the printer can be able to print on it. When you come to this side also, the left side can increase or you can decrease. So always make sure that there should be a space around it. You can, the list now you can set to is, you can set it to 3. The printer can see and work on it. The left, now is the left and right, you can set it to 3. It's okay, especially when you want to squeeze all the document to be on one page and it's just a few or 2-3 lines that has dropped to the next page. You can use this method of reducing the space of the margin so that the rest of the document can go into it. So we also have reducing the top to 0.6, 0.6, or it can be 0.5, all of them, it works. So this is the default way of you setting the margin. That is the custom way of setting it. You want to set it yourself. When you talk about custom, meaning you want to do or change the settings to suit you yourself, not the way the machine wants it. Now, when you look at the down also, we have the orientation. So we are dealing with the page setup, margins, and orientation. So the orientation is talking about the layout of the paper. The paper, is it in portrait or landscape? We have the portrait, meaning the portrait is in this form. So the shorter side is pointing up, longer side is in a vertical form. That is what we call the portrait. So look at the way the preview is. This is a portrait. When I change to landscape, it will turn the paper this way. Turning the paper to the other way, this side will come to this side, and this side will come to this side, and this side will come upward. That is what we call the landscape. See, it has turned the paper. So when you design a document that is in this form of landscape, you turn your paper before designing. Then make sure that when you are going to print your printer also, you make sure you select in landscape. When this one, if it is for the portrait means this one is in the vertical aspect. So take note of their differences. Let me just apply changes to what we did. You can see the document is closer to the margin. That's the settings that we did. So if I want to, I just click on this arrow again. I want to change it to landscape. I click on it. You see the paper has 10. So anytime that you want to design a document, you look at the document that you want to design. How is the document look like, especially when you are dealing with some kind of table works. If the table work is moving from left to right side in that long direction, you have to make sure that you change your paper to landscape so that all the table can be, or the table work can be fit on it. Sometimes you have some kind of design that is supposed to move from the left side to right side along in that order. So you have to use the landscape. But if the document is heading from top to the down direction, which is not something that has a span to right side to my, then you can use the portrait. So take note of that. We also have those tools that are here. Instead of you going through the button here, the page setup property here, we also have the landscape that is here. So you can take your portrait, you can take your landscape. It's the same tool. If you don't want to pick the tools from here, you can come to this place, then to your landscape and the portrait. Now at this place we're talking about it. Excuse me. The paper. The paper, we always use the standard paper, which is the A4. The A4 is a little bit longer than the letter, but the letter is a little bit wider than the A4 as well. So when it comes to the width of it, the letter is a little bit longer. So you scroll and look for the type of papers. We have A3, A4. You need to take your time, study, and know more about the type of papers. If you are working, especially working in the office, we have different type of papers that we use. So A4, we normally use the A4 sheet a lot. So this is the width of the A4 and the height of it. So take note of this. When you click on it, it will give you their size. A3. So twice of the A3, twice of the A4 is to give you the A3 size. So take note of that. You can set your papers, the paper size from here, or when you want, you can just come to this place. You have letter, then the tabloid, legal. Then what I need is the A4. You just select the A4. So A4 type of paper, we normally use that one, so take note of that. Then there's one thing I want to also talk about the page. Sometimes you can break your page into two. If you don't want to be the way it was, you can break into two. That's where 2 or 3 or more. But it will depend what you are doing. If your document is in the form of landscape, you can also break it to that page. So you can see what happened to it. So I'm able to type from here. When this side got to an end, it will come to the top here. Then it will also finish. When this side finishes, it will come to this side. So continue in that order. So that's how it goes to the down. So that is what we call the inserting page columns. So we have one. When you should go back to the single one. If you want to set the column should be 3, you just go in that order. So this is how we go by setting page columns. Now, as we were able to go through the orientation, changing the sizes of papers, you have to make sure that you study this a lot, because as you are in the office or you are going by your day-to-day work, you'll be printing a lot of work, and also you have to know how to set your margins and the type of paper you have to use, and also you working with the orientation, either should it be within the portrait aspect or should it be in the landscape. That one is going to be based on what you want to design. So if your design is in the form of nature of landscape, you have to turn your paper in the form of landscape before you start your design. If it's going to be in the form of portrait, just go by the form of portrait before you start whatever document you are dealing with. Otherwise, when you finish designing your work and later change it to portrait or landscape, you'll see that it's going to mess up the whole work for you. Now before you have to rearrange your things. So for you not to face those challenges, make sure you select the orientation, how you want the paper to be. You just select it and the type of paper before you start with your work. So that is about margin settings and page setup. There are some 1 or 2 things also I want to talk about. That is the readability and the inserting of symbols. Readability and inserting of symbols. That is one key thing that you also have to take note of. When we are talking about the readability, that is the zoom. We have it here on the status bar. We have our zoom. If you want to see what is here, you can press on the plus here. This one will increase the document, or if you're having like eye problem and you need to use spectacles or glasses, for you getting your zoom, you'll be able to see the text clear and you can read it. But when you are printing it out, it does not mean that how you are seeing it bigger, that's how it's going to be on the paper. This one, it is only helping you to be able to read it. That's why I call it readability. That is the zoom. If you want your text to be big like this, then the best thing for you to do is to change the font size to a big size. It's only the font size that deal with that. So this one, if it's 11 and you print, no matter how you are seeing it big here, it's going to be in the font size of 11. So always, if you want your your text or the document to be in a big font, make sure that you increase the font size. If you want to reduce it, you also go there, reduce it. But for the zoom, is just to help you, the user here, to be able to read what you type on your desktop. So we can use the minus and the plus to increase or to decrease. Just it's here to help you to what? To read. So take note of that. We're doing the same thing. We can apply it from here, or we can also change the way it looks. That is for the zooming aspect. So as I said, we are going to talk about the zoom and how to insert a symbol. And let me talk about one thing about the zoom also here. When you come to the down here, we have what? Zoom. We can use this aspect, or if you like, we can use the one here. They are all the same thing. So when I click on this, it will give me an option. By default, it's at 100%. So you can see I select this one to 100%. When I select 200 and I apply it, this side will also change to 200. So you can see, meaning it has increased the size or how the view is for me to be able to see it clear. So this is how we have on one page, we have multiple pages. I select multiple pages to give me 2 or more pages. That's the work of this one. Then that is page 1. You can see it has took me back to the default. So when you come to this place, select it to 75. You can also reduce it. Here's the percentage, and down here is also 75. 200. You can decide to put your percentage as 500. I click on the OK. You see the nature of the 500. So you can view, reduce, see what you want to do. If it's too big for you, you can reduce the size of it to a normal size, either which is the 100. 100% is what we normally go by. So this is how we go about the zoom. The zoom is only just to help you to be able to read what is on your desktop, but it's not to help you when you print your document that is going to be in that big size. No, that's not the work of the zoom, only just to help you to view what you have created on your desktop. Take note of that. Now let's go back to insert of symbols. In the course of our work, sometimes we have been dealing with some kind of symbols that we work with, especially when you're dealing with the currency symbols or languages where you need some kind of symbols. Let me just go by this. Let me take the superscript and those things out so that we can set the symbols here. When you go to insert, we have different type of symbols which are for different languages. These are current symbols that have been used. So those ones you can see that they are showing you. But what about if what I'm looking for is not here? That's where you go to what more symbols. So you come to this place. If I need a CD sign, you can click on it and click on what insert. This is where we have, you can see our symbol that is showing. If I want different symbol, any of these fractions, just set it. If I don't like that one, I want different one. You can scroll, we have a lot. You can change the font size here to get exactly what you want. If the area block is too big, you can change it to algebra. We have the Algerian and we have the agency. You can pick any of those fonts. They all have different kind of symbols within them. So this is how we look for the symbols. If I need the sign, just come here, go to insert. We can also assign some of the symbols to the keys as shortcut. Those ones are some of the advanced. What you need to do, just take your time, go through these ones. Whatever symbol that you want, you will see it from here. If you want to type anything like Arabic languages and lessons, you will get some of those symbols here. P, Fancy, you want to type French, any other languages, the Chinese, all those languages, you will see the symbols here. The only thing is how you combine them and insert them to be able to give you a sentence. So this is how we go about what the symbols. So to insert any symbols, just go to the insert on your menu bar. So it will deploy the ribbon for you. At the right um, end of it, you see symbol. Just click on it. Then you are going to get more of the symbols that is here. If you want the one that is here, if you just need it, just click on them. It will just take you direct to insert it direct for you. But if what you are looking for is not here, you only have to go to the more symbols. Then you select for the type of symbol you are looking for. When you see, just click on it and click on insert. Then it will insert it there for you. So this is how we insert symbols in Microsoft Word. You can use the same steps for other applications as well. But some of the applications, they are not going to see it within the same where we have the insert, and where they may place it. So take note of that. So just practice this one in Microsoft Word, then you will be able to cope with the other subsequent programs or applications that you'll be meeting. Now for the spelling and grammar check is the next thing we are going to look at. And since we have other documents that are created, let me use this one for the spelling and grammar check. The spelling and grammar check, which is one of the tools that help us to check our spellings and grammar. Then we shall also be talking about the thesaurus. So let's look at the spelling and grammar check first. We have different ways of checking our spellings. In Microsoft Word, is one of its advantages. It gives you the opportunity to see where you have mistakes in your document and also to correct them. That's one of the advantages of Microsoft Word over a typewriter. We can use the mouse also as one of the right mouse button to select or to pick out our correction. So right click on it, you see we have the right suggested words: come, count, comma, comment. These are all another form of checking of the spellings. So if you think this way is also another way for you, you can use this. Okay, so that's one of the things that we can use. So if you want to go with the other way also, we have what we call the spelling and grammar check, another tool which we can use the F7 on the keyboard, or we can use the review on. When it comes to this place, this is the symbol for spelling and grammar check, ABC with the mark and the correct sign. You just go to click on it. It will give you a suggested word over here. So if you think this is the correct one, you can just see what change. If you prefer it to be the same thing, you can maintain it. But since we think this one is the correct one, so we just change. As it will correct them. Then to move on to the next one. This one also is giving you the suggestions. What do you think you want to do? So this one is a grammar. So you look at it. If it's supposed to be the is, you say you should change. It's not supposed, and this one, what we select there, same one, and that's not what you want. This one is supposed to be is and not ins. So you have to check all these things before you click on your change. So you can say ignore. It's man that we want to type. So this is how we correct some of those grammar. And the grammar, sometimes you can see two things over here. The spelling and grammar check. When you are talking about them, we have red lines and green lines, and sometimes it's not a green line, you're going to see something like a blue line. The older versions is green line, but the newer versions you see the green and the blue line under them. The green one or the blue line is telling you your grammar, the grammar that your sentence or your grammar is what wrong, and you have to look at it. But sometimes it comes with or the spacing that you provide between the words. If the space that you provide is not the one space, the one backspace, or the space bar pressing the space bar only once, that one can also give you the underlying color of green or blue. So take note of that. We also have the red line, which also stands for two things. The red line stands for either the spelling of the word is wrong or that word is not an English word. So take note of that. When you look at it, like maybe Amma or Kofi, these are all names of people, but they are all not English words. So you can see that the Amma has been underlined red for you. If you think this one is correct, you just ignore all. So it's a local name. So that is the spelling of it. But one thing that word does is that it prompts you about it. So you the user have to make sure that you look at it and check it whether is this the right spelling of Amma. If you think that is the right spelling, you just leave it and go. If you know that the word is an English word, then try and check it well. Especially sometimes we have the British English and the American English, and the software that we are normally using here is the United States English. So when it comes to that order and you are writing a sentence which you are using the British English, anytime that you see that underline, you make sure that just look through and see if that is the right spelling. If that is the right spelling, you can say ignore for that. Ignore for that. Then also sometimes like we have commando in America, it can be K. In British, that one it can use C. When it comes to colors also, their spellings is different. So you take note of that. The color being spelled with the American language is quite different from the one of the British language. For the American one, there's no U, it's only C-O-R. But when you come to the British, that one is C-O-R-C-O-L-O-U-R-E. That's how, yeah, excuse me. That's how the British only look like. So you have to take note of all those things before you apply your changes. If you realize that what is there is an American English, then you should go with your software depending on the type of software you are using. If it is the United States English that you are using, the version of Microsoft Word that you are using, then make sure that you only look at it and see if the spelling is correct. If it is British English word, then that means you only look at it and ignore it. Just that Microsoft Word will help you to be able to identify that there are some problems here. When you print, you are not going to see those lines under your printed document. Just that it's only helping you, the user, that there are some problems here, so you need to look at them and correct them. So when I right click, you can see that we have the suggested words stop. So I think it's stop that I want to type when you come to this place also, because I haven't completion. It's giving me what do you want to do. Going, gain. So it's going, I want to type, so I just select that one, and still it's giving me another underline word. So should it be the suggested one is a question mark? What do I want? When I right click also, it's asking me, am I add a question mark to it? If that's what I want, I will only click on that to change. So this is how we check the spellings and the grammar. So we take note of that. The next thing I want to talk about is the thesaurus. The thesaurus is one of the tools that also help us to check the meaning of our word, that is the synonyms and the antonyms. So when I look at this word here and I want to check the synonym of this word, I can only highlight this one. When you come to the top, you see that we have one, the thesaurus. So you just click on it. It will also give you the suggested words that are here. Then also the antonym. When you look at the antonym, that is what? Small. But here it is what? Great. That's great. So these are synonyms of it. So if you think that this one's as adjectives, and here also we have the antonym, we have two of them. limited or small. If you think this one is the correct one, that's abandoned one, you want to replace it with that one, there's a small arrow, you just click on it and see what insert. That's it, that it will change it. But before you insert that, you have to make sure that when I pick that word in the sentence, will it match well for me? So you have to check the word, the meaning of the word that is there, and how the sentence is. If it's going to be something that will not um, suit the sentence that is there, you take the synonym that will be able to what suit into it. So that's one thing that you also have to look at. Now, so these are, if I want it to be an antonym of it, I need to highlight it before I apply the changes to. So there are some words that we have the meaning, that is the nearest meaning of them. So I can change this one to what? When I change this one to small, abandoned, small, and those things. So any of them that I feel I can just click and use it to what? Set it lesser. So that is how we replace those things. Another way also of doing that is when I said I want to change by using the mouse, that is the right mouse button, we can change offer. Let me see offer. When you right click on it, you see we have synonym. So we have bargain, agreement, all those things are your proposal. So if I want to replace it with the proposal, I can just click on that one from there. So that is the only thing, is just you right click on it, go to the synonym of it. So we have them different here. We just use it to what? Replace those words that are there. So that's how we look for the meaning of a word. Sometimes there is a sentence here that, or there's a word here that you don't understand or you don't get the meaning of that word. What you only do is just right click on it, go to the synonym of it, it will give you what? Different similar meanings of them. So if you look at this and think, well, that is what is I'm looking for. If this one is the correct, I can use it to replace it. Or sometimes you only just want to know the meaning of that word. Just right click on it, then you put the mouse pointer on your synonym. It will display all those synonyms for you, and just look through in that order. So this is how we check for synonyms of a word. So you can go through it by using the thesaurus, or you just right click on the word and go to the synonym. It will give you, see we have yearly, which is for the annual, 12 monthly, once yearly, all those things are here. So how you want to check for the meaning of the word, you can use, if you don't have a dictionary on your computer, you can use this process to check the meaning of maybe sometimes a word. Sometimes you have been, a letter has been sent to you or some document has been sent to you to go through. And as you are reading, you realize that there are some big words that is inside that you don't get the meaning of them. Just right click on them, go to the synonym, then you can check the nearest meaning words that are closer to that so that you can understand that. So that is how we go about what using of thesaurus, spelling and grammar check. Then also we working on the page setup as well, and the readability and inserting of symbols. So you just have to practice this. I know that it is a lot for you, but if you start practicing it gradually, you will be used to it and good to go for good. I hope you find this tutorial helpful and see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.